Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Please, we invite you to take your seats and prepare for this morning's service. On behalf of the worship committee, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation. On behalf of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia, welcome. I am your service leader, Deb Matherly. Our minister is the Reverend Stephen Robinson. Today we have a special guest speaker, our own Dr. Richard McLeod. Stay connected. Okay. Yeah. Stay connected with our community by keeping an eye on the following communications. Our recurring events are included in the calendar with your order of service, but special events are also coming up. We provide an emailed newsletter every Thursday to keep you informed about these upcoming events, and there's several new ones this week coming up in this next few weeks. Make sure we have your email address and listen to any special announcements from our worship committee at the end of today's service, as they often share important news you won't want to miss. We warmly welcome families with children and offer childcare during our service for infants and children up to 4 years old. If you want to volunteer to provide childcare during our services, please speak with Bethany Storlazzi, who's here somewhere. We have a designated seated area in the sanctuary over there for children ages 4 to 7 and their parents or caregivers. Feel free to bring the toys available at the back of the social hall for quiet play. And today, children will remain in the service with their parents or caregivers. Today's flowers, very special, are provided by Renee Dantes. Renee says that something special about these flowers is that Lego repurposed some of the pieces from other sets. For example, the rose petals are actually car hoods. It reminds us that sometimes we have to take what we have on hand and create beauty from the originals. So come take a look afterwards, and you may share this with your friends who are Lego enthusiasts, like many we know. So thank you. So please silence all devices as we center ourselves on today's service and listen to the prelude. Okay.
We are so grateful today to welcome singer-songwriter Deb Varn to share her music in our service. She is an Agape licensed spiritual practitioner and a certified quantum healer who creates music firmly anchored in the divine. Her songs are intimate stories of faith, love, hope, and optimism, incorporating Americana, country, blues, folk, rock, and pop music. Her eloquent and revealing lyrics, engaging stories, and sweet and subtle melodies seep into listeners' consciousness. She gave her album release performance for her new album, Jasmine's Colors, here at the UUCC last month. We're so glad she's here today to share selections from that album, and please speak to her after the service in the social hall, where she'll have her albums available for purchase. Deb is joined today by Margaret Ward-Knight, who's a singer, bassist, and keyboardist from a musical family in New Orleans. She studied piano performance and voice in college, and she and Deb have been making music together for 25 years. We can all together thank Deb, too, because it was her concert here that was responsible for turning our church around and keeping it this way. Welcome.
You know, A Course in Miracles says there's no such thing as a small miracle, right? Right. Thank you guys so much for having us. I had such a thrill playing here for our album release concert last month, and Cindy was amazing in helping us get it set up, and her team, and Jesse and Dimitri and everybody else that contributed. I can't thank you enough. This first song that I want to share is called Faith of a Mustard Seed. In 2017, I was diagnosed with something called multiple myeloma, which is a bone marrow cancer. And I went through stem cell transplant. Everything went great. I was at the end of practitioner studies at Agape International when the numbers started to rise again. So it showed that there was a presence of abnormal cells in my bone marrow. Now, my doctor, I love him, but I feel like he's called to the principal's office every time I come in his office, because I was a former principal. And I told him, is this urgent? And he said, no. I said, because I don't feel like I need to jump on this with the kitchen sink like you're telling me. And so I immediately went into something that Reverend Michael teaches, which is called the life visioning process, where we ask empowering questions so we can get empowering answers. And so I asked, what is seeking to emerge in, through, and as this experience? Because personally, I thought I had learned everything I needed to learn from the last time. I was bald. But, and what quality do I need to develop in order to be able to make this happen? And then what I need to let go of. And what I caught in spirit was, where are you holding back from life? Because I felt like I was saying to myself, well, you don't have enough time to do this, or you don't have enough time to do that. And then what do you have to embody in order to embrace life fully? And that was to trust in a power and presence greater than myself, that I will be here as long as I'm supposed to be here. And I had to let go of attachment to outcome, because healing comes in different ways. And so I leaned in and I did everything that I felt Spirit would have me do. And the numbers continued to rise. And I stayed in my practice. I was aware of my oneness with God. I was in service. And by August, they had reached a pretty significant point. And I remember saying to myself, surely I have the faith of a mustard seed. And I wrote, this song came through. And at the end of that month, the myeloma markers dropped 33%. By the time I got to California for initiation into the practitioner corps, they had dropped another 33%. And by January, they went back to the no-thingness from which they came. And they've stayed there, and that's 3 years ago. And I know heavy-duty chemo, none of that stuff I had to go through before. And I remember my meeting with Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. I don't know if you know him or not, but he's an amazing being. And he said, is there anything you want to ask me? Because we had one-on-one time with him. Or anything you want to say. And my first thought was, you need to get this man to pray for you. But at the same moment, something within me said, the same Spirit of the living God within Reverend Michael is within you. And so all I could do was express my gratitude and say how much I loved him. So this song is called Faith of a Mustard Seed. Not much more than a grain of sand, and it's the prayer in which I stand, the key to limitless possibility, found in the faith of a mustard seed. With the faith of a mustard seed, I can do anything. I can move mountains and walk the stormy seas. With the faith of a mustard seed. perfect wholeness as me. And I intend to see me as God sees, with the faith of a mustard seed, with the faith of a mustard seed. I can do anything. I can move mountains and walk the stormy seas with the faith of a mustard seed. With the faith of a mustard seed, I can do anything. I can move mountains and walk the stormy seas with faith of a mustard seed. Of a mustard seed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deb. Now please rise in body or spirit and join me in the congregational covenant in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, seek knowledge in freedom, and serve others in community, and thus do we covenant with one another. Please be seated. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. Our community is based on deeds, not creeds. We are a covenantal religion, meaning we don't have to believe the same in order to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. We place love at the center of our values, embracing and welcoming all people. We're delighted to welcome all our guests and visitors today. And Jane, would you be willing to please pass the microphone? Visitors, please wait for the microphone before speaking. Share your name and where you're from when it's your turn. And if you have guests, please feel to introduce them as well. Do we have any guests or visitors here with us today? Anyone willing to stand up? Oh yes, we've got someone over there. Okay. Oh, you've got a couple people over there. Great. Okay.
This is the, okay.
Thank you.
Al, stand up, please.
I'm Al Hayes. This is my wife, Pam. We're members of the Cedar Valley Unitarian Universalist congregation in Cedar Falls, Iowa. So we're 1,000 miles from home, but glad to be here.
Great.
Welcome.
Great. Welcome. Yeah.
Great.
Good morning. My name's Danica Todd. I am the mother of Darmalene, who is part of your child care. She's a student over here at USC, and we're visiting from the congregation in Charleston.
Great. Okay. Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. And if you'd like to learn more about UUCC, there's visitors cards in the back of each chair, and please fill one out and place it in the collection plate, and we'll email you about our events. Our board members and committee members welcome your questions and comments, and board members wear green name tags, so thank you all for being here. Today's chalice lighter is Sylvia Brown, who joined us just a little over 2 years ago, and she enjoys participating in the choir. So Spirit of light and life, come unto us. Thank you, Sylvia. Now our opening hymn. Okay.
Our opening hymn is number 389, Gathered Here. I invite you to stand in body or spirit to join in singing. This hymn is designed to be sung in a 4-part round, and our singers from our choir chalice voices are going to come forward to help lead us in singing the round. I'll invite you to listen to the melody as I play it once through, and then we'll all sing in unison 2 times through this beautiful melody for Gathered Here. Then we'll sing twice through in a round. Those starting the round will be looking right here, this section on the piano side. You're gonna be singing along with group 1. Following them, coming in, entering our round, will be the front part of this middle section, singing with group 2. In the back part of that section, could you please plan to sing with group 3? And everybody over in our other wing is going to be led by group 4. You can trust those singers to show you when to begin. Please listen once through, twice in unison, and then twice in round. Once more. Now just group 1.
Thank you. And now Richard McLeod will give us our opening words. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. My wife told me yesterday or the day before or whatever, she said, you know, you're not going to have a big turnout today because of all the competition going on in the world, right? Because of all the protests. And I understand there's a big game going on today. Yeah. Well, so anyhow, I'm glad you're here. Opening words from a Chinese proverb. If you are patient in one moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of sorrow.
And now we invite the children to come forward for the story for all ages. Okay. All right. Great.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Wow. It's a bigger crowd. You know, I complained about, maybe not a lot of people here today because of a lot of distractions going on, but children showing up good. Okay, is my mic working? Am I good? Am I echoing good enough? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, listen to me, you guys and gals. I have a question for you. Do you know what a temper tantrum is? You know what? Are you an expert on that? What?
It's when you get angry and you start like throwing things or you start getting like when you're really angry, you might start throwing things or start going.
Okay, I don't think I can quote the whole thing, but she says it's like when you get angry.
For children. A temper tantrum is a normal emotional response for children.
A normally, I can't repeat all of this, but anyhow, she said it's like you get mad and you start throwing things, and but the best definition is it's a normal response for children, right? So anyhow, that's what you do. So it's when you get mad about something, whether it's maybe a good thing or not, and you're justified, but you throw a temper tantrum, you get angry and you throw things and whatever. Anyhow, I have a book I'm going to read you. It's called, oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. An unexpected treat. I thought I was going to get to keep them, but nothing. Anyhow, I'm going to read you a little story about different types of animals that have temper tantrums and why they have them. Here's a picture of Leo the lion. See? And it looks like he is throwing a temper tantrum. Can you see all that? He's throwing a temper tantrum. So, what is bothering Lionel Lion? Why is he hopping around? Why is he roaring and raging and crying? Why is he stomping the ground? He's mad because he says, I hate it when you comb my hair and it has tangles in it. Does that make you mad sometime when somebody's... Yeah, okay.
He's grown if he has a mane.
Okay. What is annoying Elizabeth Elephant under that nice cool shower? Why is she kicking and hitting and howling and screaming with all her power? See, she's really screaming. She's really throwing a temper tantrum. See? Let's see why. I hate it when you get soap in my eyes. Do you like that when somebody gets soap in your eyes? No, you don't. But do you throw a temper tantrum? Well, maybe so, maybe not. Here's Terrible Turtle. What is infuriating Terrible Turtle? Why is he fussing so? He's not a happy turtle. Why is he throwing a temper tantrum? Where does he want to go? Yeah. Let's see what it says here. I hate it when you say I have to stay in. Is that something you don't like sometimes? When you have to stay, I have to stay in the house. I don't want to stay in, right? Okay. And it's not even raining hard. I won't get wet, honest. Did you ever say that and get mad? Yeah, sure you did.
I haven't even seen the page.
Oh, all right. I'll be careful to show you a little bit more. What is exasperating Kathleen Kangaroo? Exasperating Kathleen Kangaroo. What is making her glower and frown? Why is she making disagreeable faces? Why is she squinching her eyebrows down? See? She's making a face.
I think it's those bugs.
You think it's the bugs? Well, let's turn the page and see what it might be. I hate it when you make me still and not wiggle because I like to flop around and put my feet up. See what she really likes to do? She likes to flop around and put her feet up. You like to do that too? Okay, good to know. So you could be a kangaroo.
I could.
Oh, here's a tiger. Oh, here's a tiger. Tiger this time. What is maddening Thomas Q. Tiger? Splitting the air with his yowls. Why is he bawling blood-curdling bellows? Why is he growling growls? Wonder what he's so mad about. Let's see what it says. I hate it when you wash my face and rub too hard. So does he look like he's throwing a temper tantrum there because somebody's rubbed his face too hard? Yeah. What can be pleasuring Henrietta Hippopotamus? Pleasuring? It sounds like maybe some animals don't throw temper tantrums. Maybe they really. Let's see what could be pleasuring Henrietta Hippopotamus? Why is she smirking so brightly? What can be setting Henrietta to twirling and whirling about so lightly? See what she's doing? And it's not easy for a hippopotamus to twirl around so lightly, right? No? Well, so let's see what she's. Oh, it's not a temper tantrum. She's happy. Why do you think that this hippopotamus is happy?
She's eating food.
Oh, good guess. Why do you think she's happy?
Because she saw the ladybugs.
Okay.
Because she has flowers.
Because she has flowers. Here's the reason what the book says. You ready for this? She is happy. She says, I love it when you let me play in the mud. Oh. You like that? No, well, no, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Anyhow, that is the Temper Tantrum book. We hope that you are more like Henrietta Hippopotamus and you don't complain about anything and have a temper tantrum. Thank you all for being so attentive. You may return to classes.
Thank you very much. Now, if you have a personal joy, sorrow, or concern to share from this pulpit, please email or text our administrator by noon on Friday, and I don't think we've received anything. You can also pick up a candle in the foyer before the service to share in person. We'd like to let everyone know that we have an active caring committee whose members wear yellow name tags and are available for those in need. Now, if you have a candle, please come forward to share your joy or concern. Okay? Thank you. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. I have a tremendous joy. Yesterday, we were at the protest at the Capitol, and we had great representation. From our best guests, we had almost 30 UU members there, so rock on.
Good morning. This is a candle of concern for Alvin Steingold. He's in the hospital. He's at Lexington Medical Center. I cannot say much about it because of confidentiality, but he would welcome any phone calls or visits. You can talk to me. I have his cell phone, or to the caring committee members, and they can tell you how to reach him. So think about him.
We have a candle of joy this morning, real joy. Our 4th great-grandchild was born yesterday. Layla Audrey Winters. She was born at 5 p.m. yesterday, April 5th, 7 pounds, 15 ounces, and 21 inches. This is the first child of our grandson and his wife, Tyler and Cheyenne Winters. Tyler is stationed with the U.S. Army in Savannah.
Hello, Grandpa.
I have a candle of concern. Marge Aaron Clue, who has been coming for 95 years, I think, to to the UU, is in Lexington Hospital also. And my wife said I was supposed to ask her if she wanted phone calls, and I forgot when I talked to her, but I'm pretty sure she would. Yeah, after all, she contacted me. But anyway, so just to let you know. And I have her phone number. I'm pretty sure Cindy does too.
Good morning. My name's Elisa Giro. You probably know me. I've been going here for about like a year and some change. And when I first came here, I was about 13. And next week, I'm going to be turning 15. Yes, on April 12th, and I'm saying that because I'm going to Isle of Palms with my family for like a week and a half for spring break, which a very needed spring break. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys because I was telling my mom about that. I was like, wow, it's I started going here when I was 13, I'm turning 15. And she's like, yeah, you've been going here for a lot of your formative years. I'm like, yeah, I have. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Okay. And finally, we light one candle for all of our unspoken joys and concerns. And let us pause for a moment to consider both the joys and concerns. This congregation proudly participates in our Share the Plate initiative, where half of our monthly cash collection is donated to a local charity. It's our way of giving back and supporting our community. And speaking on behalf of this month's recipient, which is MIRSA, the Mental Illness Recovery Center Incorporated, is Caroline Kearns. And Caroline, if you could come forward for a moment. Thank you.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, it's so great to be back with y'all this year. I had the opportunity to come and speak last year about Mercy, and I just want to thank y'all for your ongoing generosity. I know that we are not, in a great spot for federal funding. Fortunately, Mercy is able to apply for private grants as well as contributions from community members like all of y'all in front of me today. Yes, I know, it's very exciting. Mercy is a nonprofit here in the Midlands. We have actually been around for over 60 years. We provide outpatient behavioral health services to individuals in the Midlands who are experiencing or have been diagnosed with a mental illness and who are either at risk for homelessness or are already experiencing homelessness. We receive our referrals from a couple of different avenues. One can be a family or a peer who's concerned and they can make a referral to our outreach team. We also receive referrals from the hospital, from the law enforcement. We receive referrals from doctors and from public defenders. So from a whole avenue of support we get to try and provide these services. I work on what's called an assertive community treatment team. And what that means is we provide really intense, frequent, comprehensive behavioral health services that can include going to see a psychiatrist or one of our psychiatric nurse practitioners, seeing myself or one of my coworkers who are licensed counselors. We also provide medication management and education through different health comorbidities. We have a provider who is focused solely on co-occurring use disorders. So that's going to be a majority of individuals who have mental illness also are likely to have a substance use diagnosis as well. And so we have a practitioner who is focused on all of those needs. We also have peer support specialists who provide extra advocacy and support to our clients. And I bet you're wondering, well, how do I become a client of Mercy? Because I know some of us out there definitely know somebody. And you are more than welcome. I'll be here after the service today. I can meet y'all over there. But we help individuals who are suffering from severe and persistent mental illness. So those are going to be schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, schizoaffective disorder, and major depression. Like I said, a lot of those diagnoses also come with substance use, and so we provide services kind of that encompass the whole individual, not just one thing that's happening, because that's not realistic. We all have a lot going on in our lives. We provide assistance also with benefits. If someone is eligible for disability benefits, we help kind of navigate that process, get them connected to medical treatment if that's a priority, and also housing. A lot of our individuals are experiencing housing instability, and so we work with a couple of different housing complexes to provide affordable and stable housing. We also do a lot in terms of life skills, how to manage finances, how to use public transportation, how to access different services. And we don't act alone. We connect clients to a bunch of different community partners that we have. If we're not able to meet their needs and we know somebody else who can, we're going to send them to someone else that can meet their needs. So again, I know Dr. Perez told me I might run the risk of getting electrocuted if I talk over 3 minutes. So I will close and just again say thank y'all so much for your generosity because you make my job possible every day. And I'll be more than welcome to answer questions after the service.
thank you. So if you'd like to contribute to Share the Plate, please write Share the Plate in the memo line of your check or on your donation envelope, if you're doing it electronically, just put it in the memo. And thank you for your generosity. And now, can we have an introduction to what our offertory music is going to be about? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us again. And it's so good to see the kids, man. They make me smile. I spent 30 and a half years in education. And if I was ever having a bad day, I went down to kindergarten hall and hung out with them. So they're my favorite. In fact, I taught middle school and high school for a third of my career. That's where I met Margaret. So that was one of the best parts of it. But eventually they let me out for good behavior. And so I got to teach elementary school. Oh, what an amazing thing. And I used to hang out with the art teacher and the Spanish teacher. We called ourselves SPAM, Spanish PE, art and music. And so one day I went into the art room, and there were these abstract watercolor acrylic paintings on these little sheets of drawing paper. And there were 60 of them. And I was drawn to one painting. And it was by a little girl named Jasmine. Now, Jasmine was tall for her age, skin and bones, and 5, and they used to call her Little Mama because she bossed her little brother around. And I just loved her painting. And her art teacher told me, he said, well, I don't know why you like it so much. She wasn't even following directions when she did it. I said, well, that makes me love it even more. So I spent the entire rest of that semester trying to talk her out of Jasmine's painting. I was like, man, it's going to end up in trash. We don't know what's going to happen to it. She said, Varn, I cannot give you that child's painting. But what she did was she made a copy of it at Kinko's and laminated it. And I was just as happy as if I had the original. And then the last day of school, Jasmine's teacher came to the art room door where I was hanging out. And she said, Coach, Jasmine said she wanted you to have this. And so she gave me the original, and I had it matted and framed because no matter what kind of mood I'm in, when I see Jasmine's painting, it makes me happy. And so, I had writer's block that summer. I couldn't write my way out of a wet paper bag if I tried. And my best friend's little girl, LaSaya Lark, who was 6 at the time, said, Miss Deb, since you love Jasmine's painting so much, why don't you write a song about it? And I was like, man, these are the wisest people on the planet. And so I wrote this song called Jasmine's Colors, and I got to play it for her at the beginning of the school year in front of all her classmates. And it was so fun to hear them singing the chorus by the time we got finished. And Jasmine was here on March 8th for our album release concert. And I got to give her that framed painting. And so I had prints made for her. And so they're available for purchase. And Jasmine's prints are now in California. So she's really, I have a couple of them here, so if you're interested. But, the thing about it is that the source of joy is in our hearts. Counting the blessings in our lives. And Jasmine's Colors are about living life from the inside out. And you know what? Painting's supposed to be fun.
Will the ushers please come forward?
There you go. I'm sorry, I forgot the other part of my gig.
That's okay. Okay, thank you. Okay.
30 minutes to create, wash the brushes, sign and date. Well, it may be kindergarten, Lord, but it speaks to my heart. Well, she sure knows a lot to be 5 years old. We should all be so bold. just follow her lead. 'Cause Jasmine's colors are blue and green, with shades of purple and bright sunbeams. Won't take direction from anyone, 'cause painting's supposed to be fun. The source of joy is deep inside, counting blessings in our lives. And Jasmine's colors are all about living life from the inside out. 'Cause Jasmine's colors are blue and green, with shades of purple and bright sunbeams. Won't take direction from anyone, 'cause painting's supposed to be fun. Now Jasmine's grown and gone away, but she crosses my mind every day. And I just hope she remembers when her colors flowed so free. 'Cause Jasmine's colors are blue and green, with shades of purple and bright sunbeams. Won't take direction from anyone, 'cause painting's supposed to be fun. Thank you. Margaret Knight.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And we sincerely appreciate these gifts, which reflect the generosity and kindness of our community. Thank you. Now for our featured event. Richard? Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Here, would you? My theme today, my title today is about how to hide your goat. And people say, what the heck does that mean? Well, I like to title sermons just as kind of an incentive to get you here to find out what it's all about. So that can be what this is about. Because you hear all sorts of things from this pulpit, being Unitarians, we widespread with things. Sometimes we talk about very profound philosophies, histories of religions, social justice, stories about people's lives and about their journeys. Today, I'm not going to talk about how to live your life. I'm going to talk about how to not get in trouble with other people as you live your life. Now, I'm not an expert. I've had my share of conflicts in my career and in my life with parents, siblings, teachers, government officials, and spouses. So this, what's funny about that? Well, not this one. Anyhow, so this talk is called How to Hide Your Goat. So what's this about a goat? Lately, I've heard the label GOAT, G-O-A-T, to stand for the greatest of all time. You've heard that lately, right? This applies to people who are considered the best in their field. And you've heard it applied to Tom Brady, Serena Williams, LeBron James, Muhammad Ali, and of course, Anna Hamilton. Anyhow, the greatest of all time is not really what this talk is all about. When we use the term butting heads with someone, we refer to the practice of head-butting among goats. You've seen them do that. This is their way of asserting dominance over other goats, or other people for that matter. Well, that's not what this is all about. Or you've heard of goat like scapegoat. Sometimes meaning a person who has a problem and blamed for something, but that's not what this is about either. Or it could be a goat's reputation to be a big trash can and eat anything, like in the song, Bill Grogan's goat was feeling fine. You've heard that? Come on, I want to see some recognition. Hey, 3 red shirts right off the line. Yeah, anyhow, that's, I remember that when I was a kid, no pun intended, my family had a goat that tried to eat the rope with which it was tied up. Bad goat. Well, that's all not what I'm talking about either. So what the heck are you talking about? Glad you asked. You older generation may have heard the expression, that just gets my goat. And for you younger folks, I suppose I have some splaining to do. To get someone's goat means to upset or to irritate them. If someone gets your goat, they have taken the upper hand, they've gotten the best of you, they've caused you to lose your composure or whatever. Malcolm Gilmore was one of my assistants when I was principal of a junior high school some time back. I don't remember the exact situation, I wish I did, but this story took place on a day when someone really upset me, probably a faculty member or a student, by doing something that really irritated me. Well, Malcolm said to me, don't ever let them know where you hide your goat. It took me a beat or two before I realized what he meant. He meant, don't let it upset me. Don't let it push me into a reaction that I will regret. So where did this expression, get your goat, come from? I'm not sure, but the most plausible explanation I can find is as follows. I'm told that in the horse racing world, goats were sometimes put in a stall of a racehorse as a calming, settling influence, especially if that horse was nervous or high. If you've ever seen a horse at a starting gate, kind of skittish, waiting for him to start, the trainers can't really keep him calm down. Horses are herd animals, and they need companions to feel safe. If you wanted a particular horse to run badly, then on the night before the race, you would sneakily send someone in to get his goat out of the stall. This sabotage would upset, distract, or otherwise disquiet the horse for the night, causing him to run a bad race for the following morning. They're notoriously skittish, and you can imagine why they are. Ever get pushed over the edge? Did you ever reach your tolerance limit? You lose your cool, blow your top, lose your patience? I don't see anybody shaking their head no. How often do you deal with people that push you to the limit on one thing or another? Your friends, your family, your coworkers, the slow clerk at the checkout counter. If you've ever gone to a self-improvement or anger management seminar, there's a little song and dance they give you about how to deal with it. They will say, step back, take a deep breath, put a little love in your heart, accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. The other day, I was in a parking lot at Publix Trenum Plaza, and a guy in a bright yellow car came from the other direction and zipped into a parking place he knew good and well that I had been waiting for. Well, politely, but firmly, I laid down on my arm and said a few expletives to myself. He waved back at me using only one finger. Well, that bit of road rage on my part didn't get my parking place back, so to what avail? To Kill a Mockingbird is one of my favorite books and movies. Has anybody not read or seen the movie? You know what I'm talking about. 1960, written by Harper Lee. In it, the lawyer Atticus Finch says to his young daughter, Scout, in chapter 3, hold your head high and keep those fists down no matter what anybody says to you. Don't let them get your goat. Now, Scout had a reputation for beating people up and letting her fist settle a conflict rather than her head. Atticus knows that by agreeing to defend Tom Robinson, if you remember the story, he was defending Tom Robinson. Atticus Finch has put himself and his family in line for some very unpleasant experiences. So when he says to Scout, don't let him get your goat, he means try thinking and using your mind before you act impulsively and hit someone. Like, fight with your mind, your intellect, your tolerance, your sensitivity. Letting people get to you is a thread throughout this book. Especially poignant when Mayello's father spits in Atticus's face and tells him he would get back at him. Remember that scene? I'll get back at you if it takes the rest of my life, he said. Well, Atticus just took out his handkerchief and calmly wiped the spit from his face, much to his daughter Scout's surprise. In chapter 3, Atticus tells her, if you can learn a simple trick, Scout, you'll get along better with all kinds of folks. You know, you never really understand a person until you consider things from their point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. Well, Scout doesn't really follow Atticus's advice very well because in one part of the story, she chases after her boring cousin Francis and eventually punches him in the mouth. I have a personal story that haunts me still. In my pastime when I was 11, I was a marble player. I loved to play marbles, you know, where you draw a circle and stand and you put your marbles in there and other people put theirs and you try to knock them out with your marble. I took pride in a big bag of Aggies, Steelies, Cat's Eyes, and Puries. That particular day we were playing for keepsies, so if you knocked out someone else's marble out of the circle, it was yours. Willie Hansen was a big kid and a little older. I was tall for my age, but he was big. I don't remember clearly, but something that Willie said or did just got my goat, and I lost it. Perhaps I thought he was cheating, like using a marble too big or too heavy, or having his hand inside the ring. I don't remember. I grabbed a nearby rock and slammed him in the head with it. I cried. I eventually settled down, but I don't remember what happened after that. Probably our parents got together and made me apologize while they bandaged Willie's head and told me I better hope that I hadn't done any permanent damage. In this congregation, we use the phrase, the way we are with each other. That's kind of what the meat of this talk is about, the way we are with each other. Our shared values talk about acceptance of one another, inferring that as Unitarian Universalists, we believe that we should accept one another and keep on learning together. So, much, or most, of who we are depends on how we treat each other. That is to say, the way we are with each other. How do you react to people who do something you don't like, or they offend you in certain ways? How do you react to something somebody said or did that affects you and that affects this congregation that you call home? How long do you hold on to that reaction or let it sour toward that person or toward this church? Conflicts arise naturally because we are different from one another. We have different backgrounds, opinions, tastes, and reactions. Shouldn't we, as Unitarian Universalists, honor and celebrate those differences? It can present great opportunities for growth. Isn't the main thing that we all have in common that we're different from each other? Quite often, solving conflicts amounts to putting up with other people's eccentricities, their own peculiarities and ways of doing things that may differ from the way that we would have done it, or at a different speed. Conflicts often arise when people are at cross purposes. When you're doing your thing and somebody else turns into your physical or mental lane, what do you do? Well, here's a few bullet points on how to avoid conflicts. Listen actively and seek to understand the perspective and opinions and others. Sometimes what you heard may not be what they meant. I love a story that my wife, Linda, tells. She says one of her sisters once said to her, "Wow, you look good today. What happened?" That was the bad sister, or the sad blister, I think you called her, yes. Try to avoid arguments. Take a deep breath. Do a real or pretend prayer, but try not to roll your eyes. Do you ever have somebody apologize to you and then they rolled their eyes, or they said, well, but, whatever. When expressing your own views, be mindful that your opinions may not be shared by others. Be respectful and kind in your words, tone, and your body language. Assume that others act with good intentions, that their hearts are in the right place. Wow, they're normally such a nice person. Communicate directly with the person or group involved. No gossiping or speaking negatively behind the back. Don't plot revenge. There are times to let things go. Or like Winnie the Pooh, you could get your nose stuck in a honey jar. Check the intent and accuracy of what you presume, of what you perceive. It could be misinterpreted by you. When mistakes are made, be understanding and forgiving. Apologize when warranted or even when not warranted. Call the minister or other congregational resource in a conference just to have a chat with what you've done. Think of the virtues of that person. Look hard to find even one. Dwell on it and make allowances. Give some slack to us older people. Sometimes we're forgetful and don't mean to misrepresent or be insensitive to things. Someday you will be this age and you'll understand. So don't let us get your goat. Here's a pretend exercise. And look around while you do this exercise. Pretend that everybody here in this room is related to you. Pretend that they're part of your family and that's permanent. Have a look around. In the row in front of you, 2 chairs to the right, is your brother Norman. He does and says some stupid things sometimes, but he's still your brother and he always will be. I see some of you smiling. You're thinking about somebody in particular, aren't you? At the end of the row you're sitting on is your cousin Irene. You think she's overbearing. She thinks she knows everything and she always wants to be in charge. She irritates you and you don't want to be around her, but what are you going to do? You have to regard these people as having a shared DNA with you. They're all your blood kin. Family is always family. You can't divorce them. They're all blood, always family. You can't erase them from your family tree. You can't put out a hit on them. So in the final analysis, you're just stuck with them. So forgive or forget. Maybe try treating everybody as if they were family, because in this church, they are. The way you react negatively when someone gets your goat is often not redeemable. There's often too much injury, even too much illegality. You could have serious regrets. Why did I let that get to me? It wasn't that big a deal, so why did I react that way? Let loose of whatever it was that makes you want to leave the church and never speak to them again. Think of how much you would regret sacrificing your friends or your church family. Think of the times your church family has been there for you when you've had a loss or been in the hospital or just stubbed your toe. Understanding is one of our watchwords about the way we treat each other. Empathy is one of those watchwords. Compassion is one of those watchwords. Ask yourself, am I being reasonable? Do I listen and understand? Do I recognize where they're coming from? Is my anger in this situation worth it? Have I been successful in hiding my goat? You can remain seated, but please repeat with me our congregational covenant like we did at the beginning of the service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant with one another. Live long and prosper. Go in love. Go in peace. And may your own God be with you. Thank you.
Our closing hymn is in the teal hymnal. It's number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join in singing.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in
Closing words are from the Buddha. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned.
As we extinguish this chalice at the close of our time together, may its light gently warm our hearts and guide our steps until we gather again. Thank you.
Please join in singing our congregational benediction.
I have one closing announcement. Next week is our new member ceremony where we recognize and welcome our newly joined or returned flock. Then we'll have a little party, a reception, not a potluck afterwards with light refreshments to welcome and mingle. And this is sponsored by the membership committee. So visitors, again, thank you all for being here, and our time together has come to a close. Before you leave, please take a few minutes to welcome our visitors and those around you, and see you next week. Thanks all. Okay.